Hello, hello. Hi, gang. Hey, welcome to all. Please like and subscribe with notifications. Are you set up to receive notifications so that anytime I'm live on YouTube, you get alerted? I hope that you will be. And thank you for joining. So let's get rolling here. First, thank you to Parks Casino. I recommend that you check out the Parks Casino in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, Central PA. It's Pennsylvania's newest casino. It has free live entertainment. Get out of the cold. Damn, is it cold outside in the Northeast? Every Friday is comedy night. I'm laughing already just at the thought of tomorrow night, Raymond the Amish comic. What could possibly go wrong? Raymond the Amish comic headlining, then Saturday Night Live music with Raisin Kane, Rayzen, taking the stage. You can bet sports in the Bet Parks kiosks in the side pocket, catch all the pro and college football action, enjoy the side pocket stadium menu all weekend long. So if you are in communities like Hagerstown, Maryland, Winchester, Virginia, Chambersburg, PA, Martinsburg, West Virginia, and so many more, you can get lucky in no time. At Pennsylvania's newest casino, have fun in Shippensburg, less than an hour from Harrisburg, our state capital. 500 state-of-the-art slot machines, nice and warm inside. 48 live dealer electronic table games featuring blackjack and roulette, plus a great daily happy hour. So get out of the cold, get in on the action. Parks Casino Shippensburg off Interstate 81. Visit parkscasino.com. Got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yesterday, 28,495 votes were cast at Smerconish.com on this poll question. Should Meta focus more on protecting free speech, free expression, or on combating misinformation? A very lopsided result. 83.92% said combating misinformation. I like the framing by Axios, Jim Vandehei and Mike Allen on this issue. They said, we've got these three major shifts, major developments taking place. One of them being that trust in traditional media has vanished. Two, where people are getting their information has shattered into dozens of ecosystems. I speak often about the fragmentation of the media. We just don't congregate in the same media locations the way that we used to when we had far fewer choices. And then third, you throw into the mix the fact that the world's most powerful social platforms, X and Facebook and Instagram, are no longer policing speech or misinformation. And this, of course, was the big announcement that was made by Mark Zuckerberg from Meta, the parent of Facebook and Instagram, earlier this week that spurred this conversation. And yesterday, let me reach for a book. Yesterday, I was quoting from Stephen Levy's Facebook, The Inside Story, because in the book, he takes us inside a content moderation facility by a subcontractor of Facebook that was in Phoenix. And the picture that he presented was one of individuals in cubicles having 40 seconds to make content decisions and determinations. It's just an impossible task. And I said yesterday that I think part of the Zuckerberg announcement is he's waving the white flag because you just can't moderate the fire hose of information represented by all these online platforms. In today's newsletter, Adam Thierer wrote an essay that caught my eye in Medium. He's an analyst covering the intersection of emerging tech and public policy. He specializes in innovation technology. Please read his essay. It's right now posted at Smerconish.com, and it's in today's newsletter if you've yet received it. But here's what he said, because I have the gut instinct and the knowledge of what Stephen Levy wrote, but here's some of the data. So this is Adam Thierer. He says, it's impossible to internalize the dynamics of running a digital platform without first spending some serious time sitting and meditating on the dizzying, sublime amounts of speech that we're talking about. 500 million tweets a day comes out to 200 billion tweets each year. More than 50 billion photos have been uploaded to Instagram. Over 700,000 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every day. Expression that would previously have been ephemeral or limited in reach under the existing laws of nature and pre-digital publishing economics can now proliferate and move around the world. It turns out that given a chance, we really like to hear ourselves talk. Artificial intelligence can go only so far. There's just no way to moderate everything. And the minute you try and step in and moderate some things, I think by definition, it's going to be subject to bias, which is a long-winded explanation as to why I was, again, in the minority on yesterday's poll. Okay, today's poll question, with prayers and best intentions to people who are in Southern California. I want to speak again about my hope that maybe market forces, the insurance industry in particular, are going to be on the vanguard of bringing about necessary change to combat the climate issues. Specifically, I've worded the poll question as follows: are insurance companies better positioned than politicians to drive meaningful action on climate change? In other words, where politicians are dithering, might now, because insurance won't be written in areas that time and again are in the path of extreme weather, might this bring about the change that's necessary? I wondered, as I drafted the question yesterday, what would Michael Mann think to a poll question that asks if, where the scientists and the politicians and the public haven't really made fundamental change, we're still arguing about how many chargers there ought to be for electric vehicles, right? Might the market forces force upon us the change that has been lacking heretofore? Michael Mann, of course, is the climatologist, one of the nation's and world's foremost, credited often with the hockey stick graph, pointing out that temperatures had been a constant for so long in recorded history. And then all of a sudden, you've got the blade of the hockey stick escalating in or about 1900 in the industrial era, and saying this represents carbon emissions increasing into our atmosphere and coming at a time when the planet has been warming. That's Michael Mann. So I said to him by text yesterday or email, what do you think of my question about market forces? And he said to me, I have long believed this might be true. And Michael Mann quoted for me what he wrote in his 2020 book, The Climate War. He said the following: I participated in meetings with several groups of Australian super fund managers in Sydney and Melbourne during my sabbatical in Australia in 2020. And repeatedly, they told me that they now view their investment decision-making through the lens of their larger responsibilities to their clients, in particular, their responsibility not to laden them with risky long-term fossil fuel investments, and their responsibility not to invest in an industry that threatens future livelihoods and livability. These audiences were as hungry for detailed facts, figures, and assessments of risk as any I've ever encountered. And then here's the part that he highlighted for me. I left those meetings with the sense that it may be banking and finance rather than national governments that precipitate a climate action tipping point. I have lots in the newsletter today about this intersection of what's going on in California, what has gone on in Florida, and the thought that maybe market forces. I mean, look, you're not going to get a mortgage without insurance, and very few of us can afford home ownership without a mortgage. So where insurers are saying we're not going to write in that community or that zip code any longer, it's really going to fundamentally alter, I think, development that has taken place and homeownership that has taken place in the past. From Politico, consider this. When national insurance company State Farm announced that it would drop coverage for tens of thousands of Californians last year, the Pacific Palisades community suffered more policy non-renewals than anywhere in the state, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, relying on California's Department of Insurance data. The national insurer planned to scrap 1,626 of 2,342 policies in that zip code. In other words, State Farm said to Pacific Palisades customers last year, 70% of them, we're not going to underwrite you again. So in California, they've got, as 3 or 4 other states do, the FAIR plan. They've got this fund that they've set aside for these kind of circumstances, but it's about to be depleted. And for how long, just given the nature of insurance models, it's going to hit us all. No matter where you live, we're all going to be paying for this. So for how much longer Will there be home ownership in areas that get hit repeatedly? I'm not laying it all off on climate change. I'm laying it off on development. The Santa Ana winds have been with us forever. I get it. It's complex. Bloomberg today, too late for the newsletter, but for tomorrow, I'm sure, had a piece written by Mark Gongloff, an opinion writer and columnist who covers climate change, under the headline, California Fires Expose a $1 trillion hole in home insurance. And I circled something in this story that I wanted to bring to your attention. He said, it's not just a California problem. Other states on the front lines of climate change are underinsured for fires, floods, and hurricanes, and other disasters that are becoming more frequent or intense, or both, as the planet warms. There may be more than $1 trillion in hidden home value losses from floods and fires alone, posing the threat of a mini financial crisis. Florida and many other states have their own insurance crises, which they have managed to varying degrees of failure. Many homeowners in these places are turning not only to state insurers, but lightly regulated insurers, taking on even more risk for themselves and ultimately taxpayers. That's the nature of today's poll question at Smerconish.com. That's why I'm asking, are insurance companies better positioned than politicians to drive meaningful action on climate change? Quick show if you're watching on YouTube Live. Thumbs up or thumbs down. What's your answer? Are insurance companies going to bring about the change that heretofore has been lacking by politicians and the public? Yay or nay? Quick sign, yay or nay. Is this going to be a tipping point for a realization of needing to do something about climate change? Yes or no? Gang, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe with notifications if you're watching on YouTube. And for that, I am very grateful. Thank you for joining. Go vote at Smerconish.com on today. I know it's a heavy poll question, right? But this is a heavy subject. It breaks my heart. I'm looking at the three views right now of California on MSNBC, on CNN, and on Fox, and it's just devastating. I know so many people who are in the path of all of that destruction, and even if I didn't, I'd be heartbroken about it. All right, I think we've got a good poll question. Go cast your ballot. Look for the result tomorrow. See ya.